Hey, everyone. Sarah here. I'm really excited to be going live with you today to talk about why nonprofits can't afford to be cheap. And as we get started, I'm just giving everybody a moment to join in. Feel free to pop something in the chat. I'm using a streaming tool, so if you are on Facebook or YouTube, and I believe if you put a chat comment in now, I can see it directly on LinkedIn. I'll have to check over on my phone here for any messages, so I will be keeping an eye on. And let's get started. Why nonprofits can't afford to be cheap. Here's the first thing I want to tell you. Think about your mission for a moment. Who do you serve? What do you help them do? Do you have a mission about helping animals be properly fed and cared for? Do you have a mission that serves children or vulnerable populations? Do you provide some sort of essential service? Do you provide mental health services? Well, if you provide any of those types of really important things, then I bet you agree with me that the quality of the service that you provide matters. Let me know in the comments if, say, quality, if you agree that for your organization, the quality that the service you provide matters. The quality of the service you provide matters. So let me know in the chat if quality is important to your organization. All right. So I want to introduce you to a little something I call the cheap trap. All right. And this is the solutions triangle. You may have seen this before. It says that in any solution you get, you can only, like a triangle, have two of any of these three things. You can be fast and cheap, or you can be fast and good, but you won't be cheap. You can be cheap and good, but you won't be fast. Or you can be cheap and fast, but it won't be good. So nonprofits are always told to be cheap. So let's take a look at our solutions triangle and think about what our options are if we're going to try to be cheap. So here it is again. So we can either be cheap and fast, or we can be cheap and good. So the first thing we're thinking is, well, we can be cheap and good, but it's just going to be slow. Well, what's the cost of being slow for a nonprofit? The cost of being slow is that you serve less people. So let's say you're an organization that is fighting for a cure for cancer. Well, thousands of people die of cancer every day. So if you are just one day slower, that's thousands of people who are going to die as a result of you being slow. Let's say you work in hunger relief. Well, people need to eat actually pretty much every day. It really sucks not to eat almost every day. Or every day. So when you are slow, people are going hungry. The cost of going slow for most nonprofits is just completely unacceptable. And so I'm going to pull out my Sharpie. I'm going to put a big fat X on this line here. We cannot afford to be, whoops, I put it on the wrong triangle. Let's do that again. We cannot afford to be slow. We already said that we had to be good, right? So we thought we could be good, but if we're good, then cheap, then we're going to be slow. So we can't be good and cheap because we'll be slow. And we can't be cheap and fast because then we won't be good. Does that make sense? Do you see that? We can't be cheap and fast because then we won't be any good. And we've already agreed that being good, having quality services matters. And that leaves us only one option as nonprofits, which is to not be cheap but in fact, be good and be fast. Now, here's the good news, because you might be going, oh my God, Sarah, well, what about the money? When you are good and you are fast, you actually get on this positive momentum cycle. I like to call it the thrive cycle. When you are good, when you are fast, you get more results, more people take notice, it gets easier to fundraise. You learn to be good and fast at fundraising, which brings in even more money. And you're on this positive momentum cycle where there's more money, more time helping you be even better and even faster. And we can leave all that cheap thinking behind. So put cheap trap in the comments for me if you realize after watching this training that you cannot allow yourself to be stuck in the cheap trap. Now, bonus, this training wasn't just for you. I also made this training for all of those wonderful philanthropists out there who are supporting nonprofits. So if that's you and this video has been shared with you, I want you to realize how important it is that your nonprofit that you love and support their mission isn't just spending the very minimum amount of money, but is actually thinking about the highest quality and the fastest path to results. I'm talking about true innovation. I'm talking about leveling up impact, and that they cannot and should not be cheap. They should not have the cheapest equipment. They should not have the cheapest resources. They should have the best resources so that they can be fast, because being fast and being good matters in nonprofits much more than it matters in our for-profit businesses. That's all I have for you today. I'm Sarah Olivieri, and I have been helping nonprofits run better for over 2 decades. I'm a former executive director, best-selling author, and I love helping thrivers, those amazing nonprofit executive directors and CEOs in my Thrive program. If you would like to learn more about the Thrive program, you can go to pivotground.com/application, fill out the quick form, and I'd be happy to send you more information. Or if you just want more tips like this in your email and get reminders, you can go to pivotground.com/sign up. I will see you next week. Have a wonderful week, everyone.